welcome to the Writers' Corner live show. We connect authors to each other and we help readers to find new authors to love. On the Writers' Corner live show, you will meet seasoned as well as new and aspiring authors. We invite you to get the backstory of our featured author this week, and that is none other than Caleb Smith. His book is called Longevity, the Wardens of Time. Don't go away, we'll be right back. If you're just joining us, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Brigitte Limbanda. I'm a global Goodwill ambassador and a live streaming advocate, and I love to help brands, entrepreneurs, and authors tell their stories and have a great online experience. My co-host is Mary Elizabeth Jackson. She's an award-winning author of the children's Foolishes book series. She is currently working on another book as well as a movie script. Mary is a mom and also a wife. She is also a special needs and disability advocate, and she lives in Nashville in the USA. And I am in Cape Town in South Africa. So we'd love to know where in the world you are joining us from. Mary, welcome to the show.
Hi, I am so excited to be here this morning and to see your beautiful face. And I'm also very excited because in about 6 weeks, I'll have my third book coming out with my new publisher. So I'm super excited about that. And got some other books on the works, and we just got to keep writing and producing and making empowering books for kids and adults and whoever else we can write for, right?
That is absolutely awesome. I am very excited about what you are doing, and I'm very excited about the release of your new book.
Yes, I'm excited.
So we're going to have to ask you about that a little bit sometime. But for now, let's introduce our author, Caleb. Now, I must be honest with you. Before we went live, I was asking where Maine is. We've interviewed authors from so many different places, but we've never had anyone from Bangor in Maine, which is where he is, right?
Yeah, he's very. He's probably. If where my girlfriend is from is 36 hours away, he's got to be somewhere in that vicinity of that many hours from where I live. So yes, he's way up there. And I've never been to Maine, but I have been to Maryland. I've been to New York. I've been to Boston, which is, well, Boston's in Maryland. But anyways, so, but I've never been as far north as he is. So he gets some pretty harsh winters up there.
I believe so. He was telling me offline, they've got very long winters because he's very close to the Canadian border.
Yes. So he's a hardy guy, I'm sure. They were pretty hardy up north compared to the Southerners in the South in the sun.
So he tells me that he studied business administration at the University of Maine. He's also a life student to Christianity, Gnostic Anthropology, and the greater mysteries of life. He also works for a large transportation company in freight management. And he started writing 13 years ago as a hobby, and now it's turned into a second full-time job.
Oh, that's so exciting. Oh gosh, I love hearing that because, we're not really meant to do jobs that don't bring us passion, that just don't fulfill our soul and our spirit. We're creative beings, no matter what format that you're in, no matter what job that you're doing, there's a way to be creative, and we're intended to be creative, and it feeds and nurtures us. So it's really exciting to hear somebody doing something they're passionate about, which really isn't a job, because if you're doing what you love, it's not really work at all. It's more fun than it is anything else.
Oh, absolutely. And not all of us get to live out our passions.
No.
So shall we invite him on?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do that. Caleb, and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Hi, Caleb. We're so excited. Okay, so we were just talking about you and your winters up there. Now, I don't think I could be, offered even $1 million to come live that far north because I'm from Florida, so I'm a sunshine kid, and no matter how old you are, you're still a kid inside. So I probably could visit, and then when those big winters come that I watch on the news down here, I mean, like, I pray for y'all every year. I'm like, oh, there's 30-foot cliffs of snow and everyone's stuck in their house and they're, I mean, it really takes some awesome people to be able to do that.
Yeah, you kind of get used to it,
Yeah.
age throughout the winter, and you get the 4 full seasons. This time of year is just beautiful up here. It's always time to come up and visit and try lobster. Fresh out of the ocean. It's delicious.
Yeah, you just walk up to the ocean. There they are waiting on you.
Yeah, right. Eat me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think that's what they're saying. I think they're looking at you in terror, trying to run for their lives.
Yeah, trying to get away.
Right. So we're excited to have you on today and to hear about your story. And I know that the focus of the book is about bullying or anti-bullying, right?
Yeah, that's the big part of the message, I believe, in the story.
Right. So I want to ask you, because it is such a hot topic. It has been for a while, but it just continues to stay in the news. So did you have your own life experience that led you to write this, or did somebody in your family or, a child that or?
I definitely, growing up, especially, going through middle school, you have those experiences where you try to fit in, and kids are pointing you out, trying to gain attention, use you as leverage to, gain attention for whatever reason. So yeah, there are certain experiences that I use within the book that came back out within the character in the writing. So that helped bring me to intimate moments throughout the storyline. So that certainly helped. But you also see it with other kids. You see kids that get picked on, and it's sad. I think a big proponent to bullying, it all starts at the household. With the parents, you gotta show your kids love. If you're not loved, you definitely see some differences in the way kids act and react in school, and it all starts at the house. So it's,
right. You're absolutely right. And I think it's important for people to understand human beings, and especially children, we all have attention buckets. We all have control buckets. And so our attention buckets have to be filled, whether it's positive or negative. So if a child sees, oh, if I act like this, then I get attention. That doesn't matter for a child if it's bad or good. So that's why as adults, we go, why are you continuing this bad behavior when it upsets everybody? Well, what's behind all of it is they're still getting your attention. And so it just creates this cycle that never seems to end. It goes on and on. And you're right, as parents and caregivers, it is our responsibility to teach children, because that's going to be the next generation that's going to continue these cycles and patterns on. So it's like we need some sort of a, if you want to call it coming to Jesus talk with adults and grown-ups and parents, and a movement that we turn around and start teaching kids how to be inspirers and motivators of each other. I've got 2 big projects right now I'm working on for kids, and both of them, that is the core of each of those, is to teach kids, give them tools early on, because the bullying is continuing. I mean, no matter how many laws we write, no matter how many programs we seem to put in schools, it still continues to happen. So why don't we teach the opposite to children?
I agree. It's a slippery slope. And as you said, as time goes on, it's happening more and more with more students, within the school systems, and more backgrounds, different, kids, come from all walks of life. We're all different. We're supposed to be different. We're all supposed to accept each other and be kind. That's the most important thing is kindness. Kindness is the key. We have to be kind. And it's not hard to be kind. It makes you feel good to be kind.
Yeah, see, so that's empowering. Look at how much more empowering that is to teach a kid, hey, look at you, lift this guy up. You've got 2 wins going. You know, you feel better and that person feels better. And how cool is that?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's, you know, that walk of acceptance, allowing, you know, compassion. It's very important, isn't it? We could probably talk about this for hours.
Oh, we could, and it's a constant work. You know, we have to be wary of how we act and react to certain situations and things that are thrown at us. You know, it's so easy to act out of line and not see that you're acting out of line. So we need to be very, you know, watchful and of how we react.
So Caleb, what was the inspiration for this particular book? You know, your book is called Longevity, The Wardens of Time. Mm-hmm. What inspired you to get writing, first of all, and the topic for your book? What was the inspiration behind it?
So I've always had kind of a fascination with life after death, and I've had a near-death experience, which kind of to thinking outside of that box more consistently. And this was back in 2002, I think, that I had that experience. My younger brother is an artist. He's a fantastic artist. And I've always been intrigued with his art. And one day he was working on a graphic novel with a friend of his back then, around that time era. And I said, you know, I think I could actually write a book and, you know, come up with a really fun, you know, fantastical type story with, you know, superhuman characters. And it kind of, I used my life after death experience, and I created a character that would be an angel. You know, I would take the reader on an adventure through this person becoming an angel and the battles that he would have with, you know, demons from the underworld, and kind of create other supporting characters and you know, villains. And all of a sudden, you know, it's like a spider web. You start with one little square, and all of a sudden it just continuously spreads out. And the more you feed it, the more bigger it gets. So you kind of start with one character. That's pretty much what I did. And then it just kind of grew from there.
How long did it take you to write it?
The Wardens of Time probably took me a year and a half. I started it and then moved to the West Coast for a couple of years. So there was a break in between, but I finished it out there. So it was about a year and a half, I'd say, took me to get the first draft done.
Are you going to write about your near-death experience? Are you going to turn that into a book?
Maybe a short story someday.
Yeah.
I kind of use it as inspiration, as what I kind of felt in the moment, what I saw, and, you know, what I kind of believe, and what the message that I can pass on to others about the experiences that I've had.
That's very cool. You know, I know the only other person I know who's had a near-death experience, and I'm not sure what yours is my mother. And it happened when I was a child. And yeah, she did die and come back. And so her story is really absolutely fascinating. And I'm sure yours is too. And the only reason, I mean, that's one of the reasons I believe in it, because it was my mother that it happened to, you know.
Yeah.
So Caleb, who was your support system writing? You know, every single author that we've had has had someone or something that was the inspiration to not just get started, but to actually finish the journey of writing. What was your support system like? You
know, that's a really good question. I think, you know, obviously my parents have been a huge support system in my life. They've been fantastic. I couldn't ask for better parents. My brother's been a big inspiration of mine in his artwork. Besides that, I mean, you have the people that you read growing up, and the movies that you watch that you love, and all the different experiences that you have. But it's just, for me, it's digging in and seeing what I can get out of my own inner spirit, so to speak, to see what I can get out there and put on paper. So it's constant battle for me is how much more can I find? How much more can I dig up? How much more can I uncover? It's fun. I have fun with it. that's the biggest part of it. I enjoy it. I have fun with it. But it's also, it's a test every time you sit down. You know, you start typing and you don't really know what's going to come out until
You've answered my next.
Where did it come from? You know?
Yeah, right.
You've answered my next question, because I always like to ask authors, do you type or do you write longhand? Because for some people, part of their journey, they find the writing therapeutic, and so they write longhand. So I'm always interested to find out, did you write longhand and then type it up? Did you just start typing?
I just start typing. You know, I let the sentences go where they want to take me. It's so weird when you get into that moment and you connect and things are just flowing through you. It's special. It's a wonderful feeling.
Your automatic writing.
Oh yeah, it's just it's divine. I see it as divine. I really do.
Absolutely. That's a really good word for it. Yeah, because you basically surrender who you are, and you're a conduit or you're a vehicle for all this that's flowing through, and it's coming from above or wherever you want to call it, you know, and we're just basically that physical expression of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And do you find that you are good at writing early in the morning, late at night, or do you block out times and say, okay, I'm going to dedicate my weekends to it? How did that journey work for you?
So I usually, the book that I'm working on now, I've been writing at night. And I usually write when I get home from work. I usually get home pretty late. So I'm writing till all hours of the morning sometimes 1, 2 a.m. I'm up writing. Usually when I wake up in the morning, that's my reading time. I read the novel, whatever novel I'm reading, you know, get kind of my other tasks and items done in the morning, have my coffee. I love coffee and books. You sit down, you have your coffee, and you get your favorite read, whatever you're reading, you know, you get that. And then after work, my job can be stressful at times. So when I get home and I write, it kind of eases me into more of like a meditative type sleepy state. So after I get done writing, I'm ready for bed, and I can go to bed and I don't have my mind just twisting and turning, keeping me up all night.
Very smart. Very smart. That's good advice to people, actually, you know? Yep. So.
And in your book, do you write about, you know, people that you know, or are all the characters fictional?
I would say there's a mix of both. There's actually some people that I've known throughout my past experiences growing up through school that I've put in the book. I actually put my gym teacher in there, who I absolutely adore. I see her all the time out on the golf course. So so those specially treasured relationships that you had growing up, you know, you use those experiences and those faces to create some of your characters, and then mix in other fictional characters as well, especially when it comes to, you know, the supernatural elements. Obviously that's a little bit different, creating those characters.
Yeah, then your mind can go anywhere you want.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
And do they know that you've written them into the book, or don't they recognize the characters?
I like to keep it a secret, you know. Don't tell me, oh geez, I didn't know you put that in there, or like I put like streets in there and landmarks and things like that you know I've come across throughout my experience. I kind of like to put them in there to see if people can find them and identify them, and you know, kind of, it's a good topic of conversation, you know, especially if you meet up with somebody you haven't seen in a few years. I read your book. Oh, I didn't know you put that in there, and you know that sort of thing.
So who was your? Go ahead, Brigetti.
Who was your biggest critic writing the book? You know, who did you bounce it off?
Oh gosh, I think, you know, I'm always very picky about what I put down, so I am my own, you know, probably worst critic. Sometimes things come out, you know, oh my God, I can't do that. I gotta write that over. So I'm a perfectionist too. I like to have things perfect. So I would say, you know, I try to hold myself to a pretty high standard, and I think I do a good job at that.
So when did the book come out? When was your release date?
It came out in April. I'm sorry, October 25th, I believe, was the release date. So it's been out for a little while now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So exciting. Okay, is there going to be a sequel?
Yes. I'm working on one now. This one is actually will take place many years, 700 to 800 years prior to this actual story. So this was a kind of an urban fantasy. So the next story will be more of a historical type fantasy taking place in Scotland. And it goes back way back in the bloodline of the main character. So a whole new set of characters, a whole new cast, a whole new setting and time frame. So it's a pretty big story. I think I hope to get at least seven books out of it.
Okay, so this next one, how many words do you think? How many word count? What's your word count, do you think?
Well, right now I'm on about 125,000 words.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's going to be right around the 400 page mark.
Wow, so it's a big one.
Yeah, it's a bigger story to tell. I gotta, it's a little bit more involved. You could say.
I don't know about Borgetti, but I think it's so fascinating. It's just so fascinating to me that this kind of stuff can come out of someone's mind and fill up so many pages, isn't it? I just think it's so beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I think we underestimate the mind and our capacity for storing things and information and for conjuring up things. We've got an infinite capacity for memory and for storytelling. So I want to ask you, Caleb, how did you make the decision between traditional publishing and self-publishing? What was your thinking process?
I think with a debut book for me, I sent out hundreds of submissions to not only agents but different publishing houses, and you kind of you need to start somewhere, so you throw it all out there and you wait for the replies to come back, and then you look at what the offers are and you try to go with the best offer, not really knowing what you're getting into. It's been such a learning experience.
Oh yeah. How many offers did you get?
I got 3 different offers, and I decided to go with Black Rose.
Okay.
And I was happy with the way they designed the cover and the release of the book. There were many things that I had not anticipated that I learned from that I can be more wary of next round, and you kind of learn from what works and what doesn't. So this has been such a huge learning experience, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have this experience and get my book out there to the world. And I've had a lot of good feedback, so I'm very grateful for that as well.
That is awesome. That's exciting. Very exciting. Has the book has it been submitted for any awards or anything yet?
I have submitted the book for some awards. I haven't gotten anything back yet. I haven't won anything yet, but I've gotten some really good reviews.
That's important. Yeah,
good indie reader.
Yeah, that's good. Very important.
So I've had nothing but positive feedback from day one. So it's been good. It's
very exciting, isn't it?
I definitely feel blessed for sure.
What is the age for the book?
I would say young, early teen, probably anywhere from 10 to 15, 16. I mean, adults read the book and love it too. So as early as 10 years old and up through adult.
Which is the hottest genre there is right now, pretty much.
I would say so, and I kind of aimed for that market because I knew it was popular, and I wanted to create a character that was in the middle school level and could connect with kids and adults as well. I wanted a wide range of readers to be able to enjoy the story.
So Caleb, would your book be inspirational for? I mean, bullying is a big topic. Would it be inspirational for children who are being bullied at school?
I believe so. It kind of helps those kids look at what Noah Thomas is going through and how he coped with it, how he found his inner talents to escape from it, how to overcome those certain situations. It's very important to use our gifts. We all have gifts. We're all different. To explore those gifts and use them, it's very important. So I think that digging within yourself to find things to identify you, and whether it should be different. Everybody should identify differently and have different talents. But I think it's important to explore those talents and use them, once you're able to find them.
And where can people find your book, Caleb?
Amazon, Barnes and Noble. I always say Amazon, it's the easiest. You can always go right on there. Black Rose Writing has it on their website. But those three places, I believe Amazon is would probably be the best option, because you get the option of the paperback, the audiobook, and the digital.
Okay, so my question for you is, because being on our show, we want to also give information, be informative to others who are looking to do the same thing. So my question is, what has been your marketing strategy? How are you getting your book into those venues? Like, because your target obviously is going to be schools, libraries, anywhere you can get get books for kids, get them to kids. So what are you doing? Because a lot of people think there's that myth out there that you get published and then you can sit around and you just wait for those royalty checks to come in. That doesn't happen.
Oh, no. It's a whole nother job attached.
Yeah.
Writing.
So writing is the easiest part of all this. Being creative is just absolutely the easiest part. So what are you doing for marketing? Like, where's your target?
So for local marketing, I always take full advantage of all the conventions that happen. I did the Comic-Con, the local Comic-Con we had in April. I'm doing a halfway con in October, as well as a fantasy book event in January, coming up throughout the year. So I always try to look for those conventions that happen, because those are great places to meet people. And I had a wonderful time in April, and I met so many nice people and other writers and artists in the industry, and you get to network, and you get to sell your book, and hopefully make fans out there.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. That's so exciting for you.
Libraries and schools are also huge. And I've been working on that as well. I have friends that teach, and hope to get into some classrooms, and as well as the libraries.
Absolutely. I want to ask you, what would you say is something that you want to tell people from your near-death experience? Because you say you use that in the book. So, like, what did you come out when you came back? Because I'd love to hear that story at another time.
Sure.
And I'm sure Brigetti would too. But what would you say you learned from that you want to share with others from being on the other side?
Oh, faith is very important. If you can find a way to connect with a higher power through your own faith, however that is, everybody has a different way. It's very important to do that. And believe in that it's real. Believe in yourself, and put those thoughts and feelings out in the world, and watch them come back, and watch them unfold in front of your eyes. It's happened to me so many different times. You ask for answers, and they arrive in the most unexpected ways. So faith in that you're in good hands, I think, for me personally, was probably the biggest thing that I got out of that experience.
So I think we're just about running out of time now. Where can people connect with you best on social media? People sometimes want to reach out to you. Where can they connect with you?
So I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So I'm always putting up posts on my author's page, and getting those things out on Twitter as well. But any three of those networks or channels work great. I'm also working on a website, so that should be up within the next 2 or 3 months, I'm hoping. Trying to get this book done, and all these different things. It's quite a process, and there's a lot involved. So, but there will be a website coming up down the road.
And are you going to do the website in your own name, or obviously that I would imagine, because you're going to be writing some more books, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm going to put a website up, and one of the goals on the website is to I'm doing reviewing other authors' books, so I want to get as many reviews up on my website as possible, and obviously share local events, and kind of reconnect with my local community that way, as well as points further on.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It was great getting to hear your backstory a little bit. And as I said, it was you the first person I've connected with that lives in Maine.
We call it the end of the line up here because the buses don't go any further than Bangor.
You have to drop off the end of the world, right?
That's right. That's right. But, anyways, I certainly appreciate you ladies for having me on. I've had a wonderful time, and I'd love to come back anytime.
Absolutely. Caleb, you need to keep us posted in this, our group, and then just let us know, like when you get closer to that next book and stuff, definitely we'd love to have you back on.
Oh, great. Yeah, I look forward to it. I'll certainly keep you posted, and I'm sure we'll be talking down the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. We're going to end the show, but don't go anywhere. Stay in the green room for us. We'll have a chat in a bit.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us live. Do let us know where you watched the show from today. And so from me, Brigitte Limband in Cape Town, it's goodbye for now.
And bye from Tennessee.